Blue collar, white collar, black professors, white scholars, politicians, Dalai Lamas. Everybody in the whole wide world need hope if I be honest. I'm in that number.
You see this guy right here? Let me back it up. This guy right here, Mike Pompeo. He's one of the Thanos brothers. He's Mike Thanos Pompeo. Then you have Alien Thanos Abram, and you have John Thanos Bolton. That all they think about is war and destruction. And if they had a glove where they could, with some infinity stones, where they could snap their finger and destroy the United States and destroy the world and try to rebuild it, they would. Their abuse of power is insane. And they all work for Trump. And the Trumpeteers out there who hail and praise Trump like he's Hitler or somebody, they thought Trump was going to be anti-interventionist. They thought Trump was going to be anti-war. They thought Trump was going to stop these wars and bring that money back over here to the United States and help them. Similar message to Tulsi Gabbard. Not understanding that Trump is a used car salesman. He lies. He's a professional liar. Everybody in New York, majority of everybody in New York knows this. Anybody ever did business with Trump knows this. Yet his signal to let you know that he's not anti-interventionist was to put this guy, former CIA director, now Secretary of State. And then you got John Bolton. And you got Alien Abrams. The Thanos triplets. They literally get aroused when you mention war. Well, let's talk about Mike Pompeo. Because Mike Pompeo went and did a speech at a university talking about what the CIA is known to do. He knows, or the Secret Service, he knows what the CIA does because he ran the CIA. He knows how they operate. He don't sugarcoat. He tell it just like it is.
You balance condemnations with concessions and diplomacy with a controversial government such as Saudi Arabia. Thank you.
So I always begin with a deep understanding that no Secretary of State gets through their first day without recognizing it's a tough world out there. We don't appreciate how glorious it is to be here in the United States of America on a consistent enough basis and with enough fervor. Maybe you do here at Texas A&M, but I think too many Americans don't understand how blessed we are. There are many, many tough places out there. Having said that, not all tough places are the same. They each present a different set of challenges. It reminds me, you would know this this is a bit of an aside, but in terms of how you think about problem sets, when I was a cadet, what's the cadet motto at West Point? You will not lie, cheat, or steal, or tolerate those who do. I was the CIA director. We lied, we cheated, we stole. It was like we had entire training courses.
These people are applauding this man who said at the CIA department, that's all we do. We lie, cheat, and steal. We lie, cheat, and steal in public. We lie, cheat, and steal worldwide. We lie, cheat, and steal when it comes to propaganda. We lie, cheat, and steal when it comes to reporting the news, because who you think backs up the news? Here you got Mike Pompeo admitting that that's all they do, lie, cheat, and steal. Now we know they do this. We never want to believe it. We always want to think the government is always on our side. But we know they do this. We know they're a bunch of ragamuffins that try to take over everything and use your tax dollars to do it. Because without your money, they couldn't do anything. Oh, they'll go full dictatorship. They'll start taking over countries, conquering and taking and stealing their oil to finance their operation because the people has literally stopped. Let's continue.
It reminds you of the glory of the American experiment. And so when you deal with these countries, you have to just recognize they're not all the same. Some of these difficult, nasty places want to partner with the United States and just haven't gotten to the right place yet, just haven't been able to move their own institutions. And some of them may only be trying half as much as they ought to be trying, but they're trying to move in the right direction. That presents a very different way of thinking about how the United States ought to address them. In those cases, we ought to assist them. We should never shy away from calling them out. We have to be consistent. The State Department puts out every year a human rights report. It's just a compendium of bad acts around the world during the last 12 months. It's way too long a book. But you should look at it. We call out friends, we call out adversaries, we call out everyone in between.
There you go. He admitted that he lies, cheat, and still the CIA is known to do that. And then he talked about the human rights. You know, the Human Rights Commission is not happy with the way the United States is handling everything. As soon as they try to step up and criticize the United States or try to call them to the carpet, the United States want to act like the bullies we are and try to press them down. And here in this situation, we're becoming the bullies. Pompeo cancels sanction waivers, looks to bring Iranian oil exports to zero. Now here it is. We got a Republican Party that's always talking about socialism and how it's crippling people. Now, the foundations of modern socialism most of the time is when the people take back control of the resources and they distribute it where it's needed, not the government. You would think Republicans would be on the side of socialism because it takes the power away from the government. It actually, the only power the government has is the one that the people give them through their resources. Now here you got Iran, a country that uses their oil to finance that country, including the people. And here we are, we're going to cripple their economy just so we could take over the place and turn it into a felon democracy like we do any other country. Secretary of State, one of the Thanos brothers, Mike Pompeo, announced at a press briefing Monday morning that the United States will no longer grant sanction waivers to any country importing Iranian oil. In other words, we're going to punish you if you do business with Iran. We're going to beat you up. We're going to stomp on you. We're going to beat you down to the pole. We're going to make your country suffer. That's what this is. And what marks the latest escalation of administration's maximum pressure campaign on Tehran. Now, this is Trump's administration. I would expect this from Obama, but Trump, Mr. We're going to build relations with these people. Thanos Brother One said that the Trump administration has secured a commitment from Saudi Arabia, the biggest terrorist of them all, and the United Arab Emirates, to ensure markets remain adequately supplied. So in other words, look, we're going to kill their oil, and let's take our oil and the people who they were doing business with, let's give them oil. Or let's kind of hold them over the string. Because you're not getting oil from Iran no more. You're going to have to come to us. That's called bullying, bogarting, muscling. That's what the mob do. That's why I keep telling you Trump is a mob president. And his goon squads is out to work. The decision to reissue the significant reduction exceptions, SREs, comes just over a week before the waivers are set to expire May 2nd. Pompeo said the United States had made clear our serious purpose. We're going to zero Iranian oil exports. And why? Why, Pompeo? What have the Iranians done to the United States but complied with everything that we tried to tell them to do? They're not making a nuclear bomb. They're not seeking uranium. So what's the reason why you want to put these oil exports? Oh, I know. You want to control the oil. You want that government, you want the people to turn on that government, but these people, they have access to the internet. They know what the Americans are doing. That's why they hate us, man. It's you politicians doing this stuff all across the world that cause these people to hate us and do things to us. And you want to blame them. It's you, the government leaders. Pompeo said that the oil experts had long been Iran's principal source of revenue. And he's doing the same thing in Venezuela. Yet he want to blame it on socialism. No, it's on greedy capitalists that's doing this. And at one point exceed $50 billion a year. So you're going to starve that country of $50 billion because they don't kiss your behind and do whatever you want them to do. How long we remain there at zero depends solely on Iran's senior leaders, he said. The Trump administration had repeatedly accused Tehran of backing destabilizing activity throughout the Middle East. He reiterated multiple times, however, that Trump White House does indeed support the Iranian people. How when you're doing this? Stop lying. You're lying. You're gaslighting. This is a bunch of word salad. Caesar at that. You're lying, Trump. How are you going to support the Iranian people, but you're going to cripple their economy? That's a lie. Asked what's the meaningful change the maximum pressure campaign had brought about to date in Iran's behavior, Pompeo said, here's another lie, we have watched Iran have diminishing power as a result of our campaign. Yeah, you're crippling the economy, which means you don't give a crap. You prove once again racist policies, white supremacist policies, because ain't no black people doing this, man. Majority of the people in the government, whole Trump White House team, majority of them are white. Even Ben Carson ain't got nothing to do with this. This white supremacy spreading all across the world. Their capacity to wreak harm around the world is absolutely clearly diminished. What wreck around the world have Iran done lately? He told the reports to the State Department. His remarks followed a White House announcement on the topic. The Trump administration and our allies are determined to sustain and expand maximum economic pressure campaign against Iran to end the regime's destabilizing activity threatening the United States, our partners, our allies, security in the Middle East, and the White House said in a statement. In other words, because they are a threat to our buddies Israel and a threat to our buddies Saudi Arabia, we're going to put them in a position where they can't never threaten anybody. Nobody threaten nobody. When the last time you heard Iran saying they're going to do something to Israel? The Trump administration and our allies determined to sustain and expand maximum economic pressure. The move to eliminate all SREs follow the administration's, not the United States people. So Iranians, not the people that's doing this. This is the Trump administration doing this. Designation of Iran's elite Islamic Revolutionary Guard as a foreign terrorist organization. So in other words, oh God, you're going to call the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, the IRGC, a foreign terrorist organization. Yet we got our innocent brothers and sisters who go to join our military just to have a better life for their family, a sustainable life with good benefits. And you're going to have them go out there and try to force them to light up the world with bombs and terrorize their neighborhoods. And I don't blame the soldiers. I blame our government because, as Pompeo say, we lie, we cheat, and steal in everything we do. So you're lying to the troops. You're going to use our troops to cheat, and you're going to use our troops to help you steal the resources in that area. And these guys work hard, give their life up for this country. And they're thinking they're going to do some good when all behind the scene, you numbnuts out here are lying and cheating and steal on to take over things. And then you're going to bully anybody else around the world that may have anything to do with them. What? Come on, man. And you wonder why they hate us. You're going to blame them for being radical Islamic terrorists, and they may be. But we made them radicals. There's no excuse. You should never be radical. You should never let nobody get you to the point where you're going to attack them back. But boy, America hit hard. Very hard. Look at this. You're going to take $50 billion away from a people who are already distressed, already poverty, already struggling, from former sanctions that we had before Trump got in office. That move, in another effort to clamp down on the Iranian regime, makes it illegal for any organization, listen to this, to provide material support to the IRGC. So we name it a terrorist organization. Nobody, and we force and bully people to agree with us, and now they can't get no business done because you labeled us that. You're trying to make me that. The Trump administration accused the group formed by an order of Ayatollah Khomeini as a branch of Iran's armed forces founded after the 1979 Iranian Revolution of not only facilitating but perpetuating terrorism. Now, Trump didn't know this. Somebody sent him, told him that, and he believed this mess. Look, the bottom line is Mike Pompeo said, we lied, cheat, and steal. So for you to make these statements and expect us to believe you, you just told us that don't believe you, man. Man, look, don't believe me, man. But believe me. Believe me, man. But believe me. Don't believe me, man. Believe me. Don't believe me. Sound like a bunch of idiots, man. Oh, God, help our country. Lord, find some way to remove these people, these evil, sadistic people, out of our government fairly, democratically. Please bring us leaders that will be focused on our people than the people abroad. Because right now Trump ain't doing it, and you think he's the great white hope, he's the great white nope. He's a sham. He's hoodwinked and bamboozled most of you out there who voted for you, including your Obama voters. But I get it. Because Hillary Clinton wasn't no different. She would have did the same thing. She's the female of the Thanos family. Never met a war that she didn't like. And Biden is the same way. So I get it. But I say do whatever you can to put the right people in office that's going to push back against this foolishness. Because this is just what it is. Foolishness.
This morning, the Trump administration announced that all countries buying Iranian oil need to stop or they will be subject to U.S. sanctions.
Any nation or entity interacting with Iran should do its diligence and err on the side of caution. The risks are simply not going to be worth the benefits. And we've been working with major oil-producing countries to ensure the market has sufficient volume to minimize the impact on pricing. Both the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates have assured us they will ensure an appropriate supply for the markets. And of course, the United States is now a significant producer as well.
Secretary of State Mike Pompeo also reiterated that the U.S. does support the Iranian people. Last year, the State Department issued waivers to give countries 180 days to find alternative sources of oil. Those waivers expire next week. This decision comes about 1 year after the U.S. decided to leave the Iran nuclear deal.
So there we go. Our federal government, our leaders, these numbnuts right here, are opposing sanctions on another country that has not done nothing to us. Yeah, but they threatened Saudi Arabia, our buddies. You mean the ones that were complicit in the 9/11 report? They tried to pay reparations to the victim of 9/11 and Obama said no? You mean those guys? The one that practiced a harsh, extreme form of radical Islamic faith teachings? the one who would never ever try to be like Americans, who look at some Americans as heathen, and if they lived in the country, they'll throw them off the roof or murder them for some reason? Our government has sold himself out to the Saudis, sold himself out to the Israeli government, not the people. I'm looking for the day where the people of Israel take their government back. I'm looking for the day where we Americans take our government back instead of letting these leaders do whatever they want to do, whenever they want to do it, whether you like it or not, and there's nothing you can do about it, and they're using our tax dollars to do it. I'm looking for that day. Because we got these Thanos-thinking politicians that all they want to do is snap their finger and try to make the world what they chose it to be versus what we choose it to be. They love war, they thirst after war, and they'll do whatever they can to move the war pawns of chess in their favor. Alien Abrams, Michael Bolton, Mike Pompeo, and Donald Trump all admit, bunch of liars. And yes, 4 white men making the rest of the white world look bad, that's trying to do right. 4 white men in power that's trying to control the world and will beat up anybody that get in their way. Put sanctions on them, probably wage war against them, or whatever. Take their oil or freeze their oil. What kind of mess is that? It's them 4 numbnuts. And oftentimes, Congress is backing them up in it instead of being an opposition force against it. Our federal government, our leaders, from advisors to VP to President, Secretary of State, all conspiring to this day to harm all black and brown other than their good buddies, the Israeli government and the Saudi government and the Emirates. One day I'm going to go there. It is beautiful. They do have an underwater hotel. I want to stay in it. I want to eat in it one day. Oh, our government. That's sad. That's sad. I'm Rob Brown with the Raw Report. The man say we lie, cheat, and steal. Boy, are they proving that in this article. Peace. Hey, thank you for watching that episode of the Rob Report. Before you go now, I need you to do 2 things for me. First thing, I want you to like the video if you liked it. Second thing, I want you to share it all across social media. And if you have not subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button right now. Stop and do it. As Jimmy Dore says sometimes, you think you're subscribed, or you go check and find out you're not subscribed. So make sure you check that you're subscribed and hit the notification bell. That'll let you know when I put a new content out. I'm not a fan of Super Chat, so if you plan on giving to the efforts of Bob TV, make sure you do that through Bob TV NYC at paypal.me. Anybody who want to have free access to my Patreon channel, I'm trying to save you money on your cable bill. I ran into a program that I think everybody need, everybody can afford, and everybody should have, and that link is down there below. 5,000 plus channel, best sports package, and the best premium TV, and even international channels, and you can access this all over the world. Go ahead and check that out, get your free trial, and if you decide to support, become members of those 2 services, we'll go ahead and give you full access to the Patreon channel, and there's no cost to it. So my name is Robert Brown with the Rob Report. Thank you for watching. I'll holler at you later. Peace.